In 1612, Miyamoto Musashi arrived 3 hours late to the most important duel of his life. His opponent, Sasaki Kojiro, was furious, pacing, losing control. Musashi, calm, silent, carving a wooden sword from a broken oar on the boat ride over. That duel lasted 4 seconds. Kojiro died on the sand. Musashi didn't win because he was stronger. He won because he had trained every weakness out of his body years before that beach. Today, I'm giving you the 5 habits he used to do it. Most men fight laziness with motivation. They watch a video. They feel a spark. They set an alarm for 5 a.m. and within 72 hours they're back to the same patterns. That's because motivation is a guest. It visits, it leaves, and it never pays rent. Musashi never once wrote about motivation. Not in the Book of 5 Rings, not in the Dokudo, not in any of his teachings. He wrote about training, structure, repetition. He understood something most modern men don't. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your daily habits. These are the 5 habits that made Miyamoto Musashi ungovernable by his own weakness. And they will do the same for you if you apply them honestly. The first habit is the one most men skip, and it's the reason they stay stuck for years. The brutal audit. Before Musashi became a legend, he spent years wandering Japan alone. No home, no school, no master. After his 13th duel, he didn't celebrate. He disappeared into the mountains and asked himself one question: where am I still weak? Not where am I strong? Not what went well. Where am I weak? This is the brutal audit, and it is the foundation of everything. Here's how you apply it tonight, not tomorrow. Tonight, sit down with no phone, no music, no distractions. Write down exactly where your time went today, every hour. Be ruthless about it. No rounding up. No flattering yourself. If you spent 3 hours scrolling, write 3 hours scrolling. If you skipped your workout, write it down. Most men have never done this. They operate on a vague feeling that they're kind of productive. Musashi called this self-deception the most dangerous enemy, worse than any swordsman, because you cannot defeat what you refuse to see. Do this audit for 7 consecutive days. By day 7, your laziness will have a name, a pattern, and a time slot, and that's when you kill it. The second habit is the one Musashi learned at age 13, the day he killed a grown man for the first time. Action before emotion. In 1596, a 13-year-old Musashi challenged an adult samurai named Arema Kihei to a duel. Everyone told him he was insane. He was a child. Kihei was a trained warrior. You think Musashi felt confident that morning? You think he felt ready? He was terrified. And he fought anyway. He charged Kihei, threw him to the ground, and struck him dead. Not because the fear vanished, because Musashi moved before the fear could give orders. This is the principle. Action before emotion. Your body moves first. Your feelings catch up later. Every morning you lie in bed waiting to feel motivated. You are handing control of your life to an emotion that may never arrive. Musashi didn't ask his legs if they felt like training at dawn. He trained. The feeling followed, or it didn't. Either way, the work was done. Here's your rule. When the alarm goes off, your feet hit the floor within 5 seconds. No negotiation. No 5 more minutes. You move before your brain has time to file a complaint. Start with that single act every morning for 30 days. You'll realize motivation was never the issue. Permission was. Habit 3 explains why Musashi practiced one single sword cut more than 10,000 times, and why your complicated routine is actually making you weaker. Relentless basics. In the Book of 5 Rings, Musashi wrote, "Do nothing that is of no use." He didn't have 12 morning routines. He didn't alternate between 6 workout programs. He mastered the basic cut. One strike, and repeated it until his body performed it without thought. Modern men do the opposite. They build elaborate routines they can't sustain, a 90-minute gym session, a 15-step morning ritual, journaling, meditating, cold plunging, reading 30 pages, all before 7 a.m. Then they miss one day and quit everything. Musashi's way was different. Reduce your daily practice until failure is almost impossible. Then repeat it until it becomes part of your identity. Want to start working out? Don't commit to an hour. Commit to 10 push-ups every single day. No exceptions. Want to read more? 1 page. Not a chapter, 1 page. This isn't about lowering your standards. It's about building a streak that your ego refuses to break. Musashi knew that mastery is not complexity. Mastery is doing the simple thing so many times that it becomes supernatural. Once 10 push-ups feel like breathing, add 10 more. Once 1 page is automatic, read 5. The chain grows. But the foundation was always simple. Most people stop at 3 habits. But Musashi had 2 more that almost nobody talks about. And the 4th one is why he died with almost no possessions. Cut the unnecessary. 2 weeks before his death, Musashi wrote 21 principles called the Dokdo, the path of walking alone. Principle number 2, do not seek pleasure for its own sake. Musashi owned almost nothing. No house, no family, no luxury. Not because he was poor. By the end of his life, he was famous across Japan. He chose emptiness, because everything you own that doesn't serve your path is a leech. Look at your life right now. How many apps on your phone drain your focus? How many commitments fill your calendar that don't move you forward? How many relationships leave you weaker than when you arrived? Laziness doesn't only come from doing nothing. Sometimes it hides inside busyness. You feel productive because you're always moving, but you're moving sideways, running in circles disguised as effort. Musashi's rule. If it doesn't sharpen you, cut it. 1 subscription, 1 habit, 1 person who pulls you downward. Remove 1 this week. You'll feel the difference immediately, like setting down a bag you forgot you were carrying. The 5th and final habit is the most extreme. It's the reason Musashi never hesitated once in 60 undefeated duels. And it has nothing to do with fighting, the death meditation. Every morning, Musashi meditated on his own death, not as a metaphor, not as a journaling prompt. He genuinely visualized himself dying that day. The samurai called this maranasati, death awareness, and it was their greatest weapon against laziness. Think about it. If today were your last day, would you waste it scrolling? Would you skip the work? Would you choose comfort over growth? When you live as though death is behind you, urgency becomes natural. You stop postponing. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop treating your goals like something you'll get to eventually. You don't need to be morbid about it, but every morning before your feet hit the floor, ask 1 question. If this were my last day, would I be proud of how I spent it? If the answer is no, change the plan. If the answer is yes, execute without mercy. Musashi fought 60 duels, won all 60. And he didn't win because he wasn't afraid. He won because he'd already accepted the worst possible outcome before the fight began. Fear had nothing left to threaten him with. 5 habits. The brutal audit. Action before emotion. Relentless basics. Cut the unnecessary. The death meditation. Musashi didn't leave these behind as advice. He left them as proof that a man with nothing, no master, no school, no advantages, can forge himself into something unbreakable through daily practice alone. The question isn't whether these work. The question is whether you'll do them. True power is built in silence. Walk the path. If this hit you, subscribe. We go deeper here than anywhere else, and share this with 1 man who needs to hear it today.